Welcome back to Astro Attic. Today on Astro Attic, I wanted to talk to you about when we're talking about placements in your natal chart. They might be based on tropical calculations or sidereal calculations. I think of people as like little prisms. When you are looking at different types of astrology, you're kind of seeing the light that they emanate reflected back in different ways. I'm very much like a why can't we be friends? Why can't we look at both? Tropical deals with space-time by aligning to the seasons, essentially, where 0 degrees Aries in the tropical zodiac coincides with the spring equinox, which is cool. I love it. It makes a lot of sense. Sidereal, based on fixed stars, tries to account for the precession of the equinoxes or the change in what constellations are actually overhead at a given time, which has changed since 2,000 years ago when they were pretty close. Hellenistic astrologers were aware of the precession of the equinox. You can tell from their writing. In Vedic astrology, for sure, because it is also based in sidereal. Now, at the time of the spring equinox, it's actually Pisces in the sky rather than Aries, right? So do you see what I'm saying about like coming at it from a different angle, having different opinions? What we're dealing with in the astrocartography maps has to do with astronomy, which deals with what's literally in the sky. I think that it is beneficial, as does Moses Sirigar, to look both at the tropical and at the sidereal while assessing the relocated charts. And in my practice with astrocartography, I think it's really interesting to see where things line up and where things differ. You can be a Hellenistic or traditional astrologer or a medieval astrologer or whatever and use sidereal or tropical. People might argue that point. You can be a Vedic astrologer and use an astrocartography map, and the map's not going to be different, but the way that you interpret the map will be different based on what school of astrology you're coming from. It's important to remember that astrology on some level is always symbolic, that we are all in community with each other because we are all star nerds. And I think that we could stand to be a little more connective and supportive even in our engagements with each other and potentially even our disagreements, and try to keep in mind when people are looking for that type of feedback or if they're just sharing their findings, which I think it's then appropriate to take in if you're interested and continue on your day if you're not. Anyway, that is it for today's Astro Attic. Happy Jupiter Day. I hope you enjoyed this preachy lecture. That was hopefully also helpful information, and I hope that you do something that makes you feel expansive and joyful, and maybe I don't know, say hi to Dionysus or something.